Hello, and welcome back to another episode on Farming Simulator 25. We are on the Hutan Pantai Map, and it is a snowy February morning. We have a lot to do today, mostly because I didn't realize that March, which will be the next episode, is planting season for the sunflowers. So it's going to be kind of a busy and hectic couple months, or at least episode, I should say. Alright, actually really quick, I downloaded a couple mods from Mod Hub, and I wanted to point one out really fast. I'll use the artisanal popcorn factory. So one of the things that this mod allows me to do is it allows me to adjust the storage for productions. So the really cool thing is I went in here and I adjusted the storage for all of the popcorn up to 120,000 liters versus the 20,000 liters that was there before. Now it is still cranking popcorn out a little bit too fast, and one of the other things that it allows me to do, so if I go and I click on the popcorn production aspect here, I can scroll down and it shows me how many cycles per month, and I can also adjust the cycles per month. So what I will end up doing is I'm going to end up slowing this popcorn down so it doesn't produce quite so much so fast and burn through the corn quite so quickly. What I will do really quick just to kind of show you how it works, and I'll put the name of the mod up on the screen so you can see what it is. So one of the things I noticed last season was that the 40,000 liters of goat cheese got filled, and I had to, kind of move pallets off and stack them off to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to the bottom where it says adjust storage capacities. I'm going to click that. And it's asking me if I want to adjust this sugar. I don't, so I'm just going to click save, leave it as it is. Goat milk is fine for now. Milk bottled is fine. All I really want to do is go all the way to the goat cheese. So we're going to keep clicking save to cycle through. So here's the goat cheese. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move over here, and I think I'm going to put it up to 96,000 liters. That should be more than enough to kind of cover the entire year. I'm just going to go ahead and go through until it finishes. I don't know if you can escape and if it saves everything right away, but you'll notice that the goat cheese now has a storage capacity of 96,000 liters. Which means that in this next season, I shouldn't have to move any of the goat cheese pallets. It should just stay in the storage until it's time to load up and move them to the farmer's market. So that should make things a little bit easier. And later on when I have time, I'm going to go through all the productions and adjust it. Stuff like the lettuce, it doesn't have a big enough storage, so I usually have to stack them in order to keep it, producing. But again, I can bump it up now. And what I might do is kind of bump up the productions for a couple things to keep them in line with what we need. Not too aggressively, but just a little bit, like, the mushrooms and whatnot, maybe just a little bit more. I did bump up both spinneries just a little bit to see if we can produce enough fabric to keep the tailor, actually occupied. I did that before I advanced the month forward, so let's see the tailor shop. Oh my gosh, it actually has fabric in there. No longer waiting. Hopefully this can just keep it going, and then that'd be perfect. I don't really want to, put down another tailor shop. It's kind of annoying. Alright, so we're going to start with the most important thing today, and that is finally turning this area into a field and then prepping it for planting next month or next episode. Normally February is pretty short. I just move a couple of stuff around, repair, maybe put down some sheds or whatnot, and then I advance it to March right away, but I can't do that because I need to prep everything for planting of the sunflowers, which I had no idea was in March. Let me double check. So the only thing we can plant right now is cotton, and yeah, March is my sunflower, and then possibly sugar beets as well. I'm not really sure about that. I'd have to go look at my notes. Let's go ahead and unfold this. And one of the things that I did is when I was landscaping everything, I went ahead and I kind of put perimeters everywhere with like grass, and then kind of came through a little bit afterwards and colored. The reason for that is really simple. I wanted to kind of make it easier on myself to know where, the boundaries were for this field. And I did that during the entire process. I'm going to go into the grass just a little bit so that way I don't have to come back afterwards and do any painting And this is going to be it. I'm going to go ahead and do this as a time lapse. It shouldn't take too long. This is a phenomenal modded plow. It's so good. I don't ever want to use anything else. But it will take some time. Obviously, this is going to be a pretty huge field. So I'm going to go ahead and knock this out in a time lapse, and I'll see you when we're done.
We were sparks on quiet streets, two hearts finding where to meet. But life pulled us apart, left me talking to the dark. If I called you tonight, would it feel the same? Or have we both moved on to different names? Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. I've been up since 3, scrolling back where we used to be. Half truths in this late night chat, both of us knowing what a lie that. Funny how we talk like we're fine, but your name still lives in my rhyme. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment. If only for a moment. If only for a moment. Take me back to the start, before the quiet and the scars. When the world.
Welcome back. Well, we just went ahead and finished plowing that entire new field in. So now it's time to, found it, hop over onto the JCB. Let's refill up this lime spreader, and we can lime that field really quick. Oh my gosh, is that what I... Hold on, I need to check the sale real fast. Dude, this is what I was thinking about getting. Insane. And it's 47% off. Well, luckily I have a lot of money. At the moment, anyway.
When the world felt small and your hands felt warm. Take me back to the start, if only for a moment.
So this should have the PTO onto it, which should also allow me to put a bale wrapper behind it while it's mowing. So that was one of the things I was really interested in buying, but I was going to wait until after we ended up getting our vegetable harvester, which we'll probably purchase this episode as well. That's kind of nice. I'll be able to plant the sugar beets for sure and be able to harvest them. And I believe the vegetable harvester that I want is modded, so it might even be able to harvest the onions. So we'll be able to do sugar beets and onions this next following season. And then I'll have to figure out which fields I want to kind of set aside for that. The sugar beet field, for sure, I know which one I'm going to use, but I'm not sure about the onions. It might be one of the smaller ones. Like 1 or 7, I think it is. I don't know how long that's going to take. Let's look at the map really fast. 1 or 6. So probably 6 because it's a little bit smaller. That'd probably be a pretty good field for onions. 35 will be sugar beets. In the future, I'll probably do field 2, 3, and 4 as wheat, maybe, if that doesn't get too gnarly. Just because I'm not sure how much feed the chickens are going to end up really eating. And then 7 I'll do as barley, 8 I can do as oats, 9 I can do as sorghum, and then 12 well, we can just do that, keep that as corn. And that's pretty good. That should be pretty good. That leaves us 4 fields down here to use as sunflower fields. I think that should be more than enough. And then I'll have to decide if field number 12 is enough corn. Well, you know what? It will be, because I'll just adjust the popcorn production so it doesn't produce quite so much. Alright, I'm going to head up to the new sunflower field we just put in. And I'm going to go ahead and lime that myself. And I'll do that as a time lapse. So I'll see you when we're done.
All this time, I've been holding on so tight, 'cause all that I do was easy to use. So call my time, but you weren't really mine, just something to do. Thought I never knew. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your eyes. Do you even burning? Do you even leave now, make your escape. You know the fortune favors the brave. So close, just get away. No surprise, but nevertheless, I'm still stuck in self-defense. No surprise, but nevertheless, I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your I get lost when I look in your do you even do you even
Welcome back. Well, we just finished spreading lime on this field, and boy, was it a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Now, the JCB is not the strongest tractor. I specifically got this one because it is fast. Oh, oops, I forgot to move the eggs. But going uphill while trying to pull this lime spreader was pretty much impossible. I'm hoping that we won't have any issues when it comes to harvesting, but we'll have to see. Maybe it was a mistake trying to match the contour of the road and the hillsides to the field. Alright, let's go deal with these eggs real quick. I probably should have stopped and dealt with them right away. I'll just use super strength to get this done faster.
I get lost when I look in your eyes. I just want to be next to your
Alright, let's head back over there. We'll clean up and repair both the lime spreader and the tractor. And like I was saying earlier, I'm hoping that we won't really have a problem when it comes to harvesting in that field, but only one way to find out. I'm also hoping that I don't need to buy another tractor that's powerful enough and still fast enough to deal with that field by itself, because I have those case quad tracks, but those are old, and so they're used, so they were a lot cheaper than what a brand new case would be. Oh, let me turn off super strength and make sure it's on. Yep. Let's take a quick peek. Large tractors. So mine go up to 625 horsepower. That's 470. 600. 400. My JCB only has 400. 665. 853. 913. So I mean, absolutely necessary. I guess I can buy one of these. It's over $500,000. That's a lot. Though it should have the strength to deal with everything. Well, while I am in the store, let's head down to the vegetable harvesters. So this is the one I'm looking at right here. It's going to allow me to harvest sugar beets, carrots, turnips, potatoes, and onions, which is pretty much everything. The only other thing I'd like to plant and harvest is spinach, but I don't have to do that this season. Maybe we can do that next season. So we are coming up on our 100 episodes. I think this will be 73. So, you know, we only have 27 more. That's more than enough. All right. I'm not going to wait for this to go into the used sale. We're just going to buy it. All right. Of course. There we go. Let's move this back down. I don't think there's anything else I need to... Actually, there is something I need to lime. Let me check the map real quick. One, make sure I didn't miss anything here. Awesome. We got everything limed except for the edges here, but that's fine. I can live with that. Right here is where I need to spread a little bit of lime on field 38, where we connected to that crazy hill. Not that it really matters, but I feel like I should. So what I'll do is I think we have a little bit of lime left in this silo right here. We'll just refill a little bit and we'll head over there and do that. And I'll also cultivate the rest of the rice paddies since we need to prepare that for planting in April. And I'll do all that as a time lapse. So I'll see you when we are done.
Well, I saddled up my shoes, headed out at dawn. Yeah, I saddled up my shoes, headed out at dawn. Ain't no place gonna hold me when the road keep rolling on. Left my baby crying, said you can't live that way. Left my baby crying, said you can't live that way. I told her love ain't chained down, it just comes and drifts away. Yeah. The sun in the distance looked like a burning coin. Saw the sun in the distance looked like a burning coin. Lord, I don't need no preacher, just that dust roll to join.
Welcome back. We just went ahead and finished cultivating all of our rice paddies. Gonna go ahead and clean this up and then put it back in our shed. It's interesting to me how even though this is a game and I'm getting no sensory feedback, how the different tractors feel different when you're driving them. They just handle different, they speed up at different rates, everything else. which is kind of cool. Let me see if I can find the right spot here to clean it. There we go. Quickly repair that for the whopping, what was that, $43? Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know how many times I keep ending up on the power washer instead of inside the tractor. And we'll drop that there. And we'll leave that there. Alright, what else we got? This is almost empty, but because it's been refilling that, I did not expect to buy this time around, but that is alright. I'm not sure where I put the baler. Obviously I'll have to figure that out so I can be ready for the next time the grass is ready to be cut. But I wanted to hook up the baler to the back of this and see if it works, since this is supposed to have a PTO. Alright, we'll move this over to our yard.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive. You can see me like Illuminati. You can see me like Illuminati. But I'm shining so bright, so bright. Don't come and try to share some of this light, no. Give me a beat and I control it like a maestro. Ladies on a mission, they be trying to get me wiped up. Shawty, wait a minute, can't tell if I like ya. Gotta make sure you know how to shake it like a bartender. Team with me and they all winners.
Alright, I think this is a pretty good spot to end this episode. It'll be probably a little bit short, but that's fine. It was still a productive February. It snowed the entire time, which is interesting, but that is alright. Off camera, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of wood into that small sawmill and probably go through the productions and adjust their storage a little bit. Maybe adjust their production speed. Either lower it or speed it up a little bit if I think it's kind of necessary. But that'll be about it. Alright everybody, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a great day.